I want to just kind of close with, well, first of all, like, just thank you everybody for just sharing your experiences. Like, I really just wanted to illustrate what it has looked like for you all to grow your businesses, to be able to market in a way that leverages your strengths, to be able to call in clients and not feel like hustly, to feel at peace in your business, to know that you can navigate difficult things, and for your businesses to all look different and be in a space that it isn't just you, like you do have your people. I just wanted to kind of close with anything that you would want to share, because I'm thinking like folks that are listening to this are, kind of thinking about what's next for them. What do they need? I think there's a lot of folks that are kind of going from program to program, thinking about like, okay, maybe this is going to be the place that's going to like give me the thing. And I don't ever want to position like Reclamation in that way. I think I just want to own the things that make it different, and like how I'm really seeing what was missing for me and what changed my business and my life, and just speak to those things so that people can make whatever decision they make. And I think about how it's so much more powerful for me to have you all tell your stories than for me to just talk about it all the time. Like, that's actually a concept that I believe in, is like just center your client stories. So just wanted to, say if there was anything else that anybody just wanted to share, either about your own journey or that anyone listening, you want them to know, either about your experience, your journey, or Reclamation.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I want to share, especially from what Edie was saying, was that maybe you go into coaching or go into a group because you're trying to find what's going to work for you to be successful. Sure. But I think the other part that's really important, which everyone's kind of talking about in your last question of navigating tough seasons, is also seeing what can be modeled out there for when things don't pan out the way they think we thought they were going to, or how to support ourselves when things don't pan out the way we thought they were going to, because life's going to come up and life's going to happen. Yeah. And so I think we're so often messaged and marketed success, or 1 + 1 = 2. Absolutely. And it's not always going to happen that way. So how can you have a community, a support system, a coach, whatever it may be, to show you what you can do for yourself and what your community can do for you when it doesn't execute to the plan or the archetype? So like,
or if you don't feel like the success story in that season, that's been so many people out where it's like, I'm not doing it right. Or like, I have to go hide now because people are winning and I'm not winning, and like all of that. And it's literally impossible for you to always be whatever winning is. Like, it's literally impossible. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable. So like, yes.
Yeah. And defining what success looks like for you and being able to see it modeled in different ways. So for example, for me, how Yudi is taking her sabbatical, that is modeling for me safety, that I can take time off and it will be okay. And I will feel safe. I just felt that in my body. I just felt chilled. I was like, I know that means it's okay and it's safe. So when she was like, I feel feelings about not being present, I was like, I feel feelings about not being present because it makes me feel stronger to know that everyone can do that.
And you're going into traveling this summer. So it's like, do you know what I'm talking about? That's fine. Like, I don't want to talk about it. But it's like that could be like, and I know that you have thoughts about it, right? But I think like, I love that you mentioned this around people modeling time off, or even variations of like being at 50%, or like you can travel and decide what you want supporting your clients to look like during that time. That's why I'm taking 5 weeks off this summer, which I still have a lot of mind drama about, but I got to plan for it, right? So it's like, we could still take the time, but we could just like plan for like, what does that look like for our clients in the meantime? But I hadn't thought about how like other people modeling that helps us feel safe to do it as well, or our version of that.
And I'll harp on it for everybody in this room, in the sense of there are so many amazing moms in this room. So depending on how, whatever your upbringing is, whatever your exposure has been to different types of parenting styles, you get to see such beautiful, amazing, badass women show up in that way. Yeah. Michelle is, I don't try not to swear, is such the baddest.
Yeah, I'm in the podcast. It's fine.
Motherfucking speaker in the world. Yeah, if you get to be graced by being in her presence, like, but she shows up to her business differently of how she does that versus the rest of us. And she's still a coach, and everybody here has such an amazing career. So it's like, you don't come in to be like, how can I be a copy paste version of Mariela or somebody else in the group? No. And we talk about your strengths. Sure. But we talk about also like the parts that are tough and are hard, like how are different ways you can do. And I think that's the part that's really, really cool, is like, I get to figure out how to be messy and how to fail and to still have security in that. And if you're like a recovering people pleaser, perfectionist, whatever, then like, don't snooze on this. You should just join this group. Just saying.
Thank you, Dani. I love what you said about learning how to be messy. Like if you are not allowing yourself to be, then the whole time you're holding your breath, trying not to be the one that's not winning that season. It's just like, I just cannot do that. Like if you can find comfort and in safety in just being messy that season, then you actually can ask for the help that you need. So yes, 100%.
I was actually going to say the same thing. Like if you want like to be the creative director of your business and to really own your decision making, this is a great place to be because it is so safe to experiment here. And you will still get the support and the guidance from not only the group, but from Mariela as well to experiment and to do your thing and still be able to come back and be like, oh shit, that went well. Or wow, that did not work out well. Where do I go from here? And
I'm not going to talk shit. I'm just going to be like, well, and I'm wrong as well. And I'm happy to be wrong about things. And I think that you can't be a good leader if you're not willing to change your mind. You literally cannot. And y'all have changed my mind on things.
And going back to we're all different. So our execution could be exactly the same. Everybody's going to have different results. The other thing I have really appreciated from Reclamation is it's basically a place where you can walk in and see a reflection of your skills and your magic from everybody. So we're constantly kind of mirroring to each other, like, you're so good at this, or you're so good at that. Or if we hear somebody like kind of down on themselves, like nobody fucking cares that you're not good at that. You're so good at this thing over here. So if you ever feel like you don't understand what your magic is, I think from round one, that was one of the best feedback that I got. And one of the biggest like skill sets that I was able to gain from that first group was like, oh, this is what I'm good at. So I don't have to worry about these other things. I could just like forget about those other things and just focus on these things where I really shine.
Yeah.
And we do such a good job of doing that to each other, which is why Dani says we're cool, of like reflecting back to each other of like, this is where you crush it. Like, stop messing around over here in this little corner. Like, just come over here to the front stage. And then the last thing, obviously, being not doing it on our own and having somewhere to come and land and be like, I'm disappointed about this, or I'm really excited about this. We have like a deep culture of celebration, even if I have to force it out of people.
Yeah. You helped me force it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I am the enforcer of celebration, y'all.
You also model it too, even because I think that even like you posted something this week where it was like, oh, like I got my first no in a year or something, which like that might be like, oh my gosh, what
you love to read. You're like, oh my God. Even when I said it to myself, I got my first no in a year. I was like, all right, settle down. You're fine.
Yeah. But this is also just like, we've had people literally think that something is bad. Like somebody was just like, I got my first 0 month. And I was like, girl, in 4 years. Like, and it's like, you get to bring it and get it validated.
I remember that. The chat was over her. The chat was like, what was it from Don Francisco? Fuera.
Yeah, it's like, here.
Chacal. The first 0 month, 4 years into business. Like, yes. That's wild.
So this is the thing. We're carrying crazy stuff sometimes, being like, and it makes sense to us, but it's just like the group will reflect back your brilliance but also like call you out with love when it's just like, oh my gosh, you're beating yourself up for that. Like, you're just, this is what you're doing. Just like normal.
I feel like what Mariela was going to say was the group is not standing for this shit.
I mean, not. I have to watch how I say stuff because I'm the coach. But I'm just like, out of here. We're not even entertaining that. We will validate you and also call you out on your shit.
All day long.
And I love what you said about creative director of your own business. I'm like, ooh, that is so good.
So good.
I appreciate that.
I was actually thinking of that when I think of the experience, because it was a conversation Michelle and I were having about how one of the things I appreciate of being in this group is being told that you don't have to do it, like you don't have to follow an exact formula, like you don't have to do it exactly this way. If you want to be successful, you have to do it this way or else you're going to fail. And I think sometimes in the coaching industry, this can be like, oh, you have to follow this exact formula to succeed. And it's more about like, we can succeed in whatever we want to identify as success. We can succeed by leaning into our own strengths and doing things our own way.
Yeah.
So I love that. And I would say the second thing for me that's been huge, especially this round of reclamation, is expanding what I imagine is possible for me. Because and it's been more not from direct coaching I receive, but just watching other people be coached and them talking about all of these like dreams that they have for themselves in the future. I'm like, I didn't even think of that. Like, I have not been around people who dream this big before, like who like have these like huge ideas of their business and of themselves. And I just like love it because it expands what I see for myself and the dreams that I have for myself. Like, oh, I can dream that big. Like, I didn't even know I could dream that big.
I love that. I literally like that gave me chills. Just like I've never been in a room where people dream this big, that changes like your DNA. Like I feel like that changes you at a cellular level. You shared something with me, Dani, around environment and experiences that you said it was a quote from a book. I'll tell you what it is if you don't remember what it is. But Rosa, you just made me think about it. That sometimes we try to believe ourselves into a new identity. We try to change our beliefs, but the fastest way to change your beliefs is to change your environment or change your experiences. When you change your environment and you change your experiences, it accelerates the new belief in the new identity. And then when you shared that with me, I said, this is why masterminds are the right mastermind for you can be so transformational, because in your environment, it will change how you see yourself and what your beliefs are. And that will accelerate the identity of really just you believing how the higher self that other people already see. In your case, you were talking about being at this event that you were at where you were being approached by and coaching these like super badass, high level, like high executive women at these big global brands. So that's an event, but in experiences as well as like who and what you're surrounded by changes what you think is possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't have without this group because every single person on this screen has had some kind of call with me or some kind of boxer conversation.
Yeah.
To get me here.
Shake coaching, like how Lo says, like, I like shake coaching people, like grab them by the shoulders and be like, stop it.
And like Rosa and Michelle being like, what if you just need to show up and hold space? And that's probably enough. And like, maybe you don't have to keep collecting all this, like, whatever information to feel supported, or you just I'm not even going to go there because she's going to be like, just hear about how you are. Yeah. So everybody, you know what I mean? Exactly. Like, but the thing is that like for somebody to embody it is another level, but you have to be in that environment. So that's where the quote is super helpful.
Yeah, no, I loved that. I thought it was beautiful. That's really it to me. I just think about how I don't really see a lot of emphasis on community, meaning like we talk about it, but when you've experienced it, you're just like, no, community actually needs to be cultivated and like nurtured where people can build these relationships. It's not just about, what I really do not desire to build is a student-teacher relationship where everybody just gets what they need and pieces out. Like that's just not for me. And there are some places and some programs you will buy and go, and that is fine. And that's all you need. That's great. That's just not what I am building here. And I also believe that even though human beings are individual and we never know, like 3 years from now, whatever, like it's going to be different dynamic and different people. But I think that if the intention behind how you're calling people in, the values that you really stand in is going to call that in itself is something that I aim to repeat, even though human beings are different, because I think that can work. And I want to model that to say that like you could literally say that a place that you join will have a certain sense of community, even though you don't know exactly who's going to be in it. But yes, thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate you just sharing with me. I appreciate you just being in my orbit, being in reclamation, trusting me, being resources to one another, just being the friggin' badasses that you are. And I'm so grateful. So thank you so much.